Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Light Lunch. Today I'm joined by Chris and Michael, both from Revizto. I will let them introduce themselves. Chris, over to you.
Uh, Hello there. My name's Chris Mawson. I am the Customer Success Director for the APAC region. So originally, you can tell from my accent, I'm from the UK. Originally from Leeds in the UK. I've been based over in New Zealand for about 10 years already. Prior to that, I was based in Sydney. And prior to that, I was based in London. So I've hopped around the globe working on various projects. So I trained as a structural engineer 35 years ago now. So
Wow.
I've seen the industry change hell of a lot. Actually started on the drawing board, believe it or not, many moons ago. So I've seen, the move from drawing board to 2D AutoCAD. I remember when Windows came out, believe it or not.
Wow.
Um, yeah, show my age now. And then moving to Revit and 3D and BIM and everything else. So yeah, I like to think that I've seen quite a lot around the globe and
Sure
technology wise.
have.
That's
Definitely.
me, Michael.
Yeah, Michael, do you remember Windows coming out?
Well, I think Chris has been working longer than I've been alive, so that probably tells you. But I'm Michael Richards. I'm a customer success manager at Revizto. So I work as part of the team with Chris and the other five customer success managers that we have in the APAC region. I've been at Revizto for a year and a half now, and prior to that, I trained as an architect. So I did my Master of Architecture at Victoria University in Wellington, I think 9 years ago. Um, Went and worked as an architectural graduate for a while, then as a BIM coordinator and a computational designer before finding this role. And yeah, really enjoy what I'm doing so far.
That's awesome. Cool. All right, we are going to talk about something that you are currently excited about at work. Could be a project, a launch, something special. Chris?
What am I excited about? Actually, just trying to change the industry. So as I've said, I've been in it so long. Um,
Mhm.
and I believe that, or we believe at Revista as well, that a lot of the time it's broken, the construction industry. So actually working with the CS team, so my awesome team around the APAC region, but also globally, and trying to
Mhm.
change the industry. You know, we I'm a firm believer that we're not just at Revista, we don't just provide you with software, we provide you with the knowledge um, and the training of how to use that software to its best of its
Nice.
advantage. We're all the CS team are from industry, so you kind of leaning into their knowledge, and where building relationships is what it's about for me. So it's the exciting thing is talking to clients, understanding their issues, and then taking them on a journey with Revista and the CS
Mhm.
team to build those relationships. So it's not here's the software, go away and use it. It's building those
Yeah.
relationships, which is key for me and the team.
Yeah, cool. And I guess, yeah, having that background knowledge would be just so helpful in that process.
Yeah, I mean we've got Michael, architect, we've got mechanical engineers, we've got structural engineers, we've got infrastructure people, contractors. So we've got it, all of the disciplines covered, and this
Totally.
is not just in APAC but globally as well. We've got an awesome global team which we do and we can tap into different knowledge from different regions.
Oh, Michael, what about you? Something, a project?
I would say, it's exactly what Chris has said, and I'm always excited about new developments that we have coming out at Revistos, the new versions and the new features that are coming out. But I was thinking about this question before, and I think what I'm actually really excited about at the moment is data. So Chris and the team have been encouraging me to look at a lot of the information that we can generate from the different clients that we have and what they're doing in Revisto. seeing what they're actually involved on, what projects they're a part of, how much they're using the tools, and all of the cool work that they're actually doing. So it's part of the shift that we're making to be more data driven, to actually look at all of these analytics and see what we can learn from it. And then something that Chris says a lot of the time is that as a team, we want to be proactive rather than being reactive. So it's about understanding our clients and what they're doing and where we can actually help them before they even know that they need help in some instances. And on top of the data as well, there's also a lot of effort going in at the company level. So our marketing team have been working alongside the likes of Jason Howden to work on our Bridging the Gap report. So looking at a lot of the statistics out of the construction industry globally, where it's going, delays and all of the related statistics. And then we've also made a recent hire of a head of data and analytics over in the UK. So that's somebody that's going to be starting to look at all of this information from the company level and helping us to get those analytics. So yeah, really excited about that at the moment.
That is very cool. All right.
Yeah, I think that just on that, the analytics that we're getting from the data that Michael's providing is then being shown to the client. So this could be utilization of the software and things like that. So it's actually building on our knowledge, going to the client, and then understanding with them. And so, how do you get more out of the software?
Yeah.
Are you truly using it to the extent that you should be? So this is it's all about relationships. It's all about talking to people and building these relationships with our clients.
Yes, it's very clever. Very clever. All right. What about a lesson that you've learnt at work that you might want to pass on to others, Chris?
I'm a firm believer of this, but it's just to listen to people, listen to the conversations. You know, everybody's got a voice, and understanding what the client or what the person that you're talking to is talking about. So understanding and listening rather than talking a lot and talking over people, especially in the age of what we're doing now. You know, we spend a lot of our time in virtual meetings. So understanding the clients and listening to their needs, I think is key for me.
Totally. And Michael, what about you? Some kind of lesson?
So again, listening, very important. But the other one that I would add there is not assuming that everybody knows the basics. So I've learnt this firsthand plenty of times. I think about the work that I've done in Power BI and Grasshopper. Both times I've gone to very advanced workflows, jumping in to try and do very specific things, but I haven't understood any of the basics when I've gone to do them. So, you know, it's exactly the same with Revizto, with Revit, with any of your modeling tools. People don't necessarily know the basics that actually make all of the other function work or really sing. So actually making sure you understand the clients and how they're using the tools and what they understand, and then making sure that you can fill in the gaps in their knowledge or point them in the right direction, whether that's to learning resources or targeted training sessions.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Good
I think
answer.
that the report that Michael had mentioned earlier, which is, when was it out? Monday this week. The report that Revizto done. One of the key hurdles or roadblocks that CEOs and company execs came up with was the implement of training, of not understanding the software was key to getting the most out of the software. So it's, and this is where the CS team comes in. If we can, you know, train everybody up to a decent standard, not just the tech people, but we're also looking at the non-so tech people in the room. Yeah, we can help you get the most out of the software.
Yeah, totally. Like that. Cool. Okay, something a little more personal, but Chris, what's something you do to keep the balance between your mental health and well-being? Might be things you do at work or after work.
Oh, I'm lucky enough to live in a beautiful part of New Zealand, down in the south in Wanaka. So
Lovely.
I moved here for the skiing originally.
Are you doing enough skiing?
Oh, you can always do more skiing. So I've literally moved here from Sydney as a ski bum 10 years ago, and
That's a bit of a
never
change.
left. So I love the great outdoors. To me, it was I'd lived in big cities for like 30 years. So moving to the great outdoors for me was awesome. So I get out, I do a lot of skiing, I do a lot of mountain biking, a lot of running. I've been doing ultra marathons and crazy things like coast to coast. And so yeah, for me it's just getting out in nature. We live in a beautiful, or I live in a beautiful part of the world, so it's making sure that you realize that.
Yeah,
Michael's
nice.
laughing. We're
Are
trying to get
you?
Michael to move down here, but
Not
Yeah.
hard, but yes, Auckland isn't quite as beautiful as Wanaka.
No, not quite as beautiful. Do you find it a little bit more difficult when the daylight saving switches over to get out, or can you get out in the daytimes and?
no, I do a lot of running. So it's my meditation time is actually running. So
Mhm.
I can switch off pretty easy, and I can go running on a night. I quite like running with a head torch.
Oh,
Within
cool. Yeah.
50 meters, I'm on trails. So
Hmm.
yeah, I go running most days. So, but it's very good for the mind. It's good to switch off. So.
For sure. Especially after such a busy day job.
Yeah, and it's getting more and more. We look at the screen for 8-10 hours a day. So to actually get out and go, oh, this is where I live, is
Hmm.
fantastic. So yeah.
Totally. Michael, what about you? How do you balance your mental health, well-being
To be honest, I'm not
while
that
being
good
in
at
Auckland?
it. So, I mean, I am a perfectionist. I think that comes from the architecture school background, the all-nighters, the trying to get everything absolutely right. But I think it's
Hmm.
also partially that I'm interested in the work that I'm doing. So, again, to the data and analytics, it's not something that I'm doing every day during my working hours, but it is something that I'm finding interesting and occasionally tackling in the couple of hours after work, or might be after I've had dinner or something like that. My partner doesn't always appreciate it, but I'm sort of interested in those values that I'm looking at.
Yeah,
Um, I think as a relatively junior member of the team, I am still trying to prove myself and show what I can do as well. So there is that little bit of trying to go above and beyond to set myself up
hmm,
for the rest of my career. But having said all of that, my partner and I have just brought home a Labrador puppy 3 weeks ago.
nice.
So he's kind of forcing me to have a work-life balance. He wants to be up at the same time. He wants to eat at the same time. He wants to eat the couch and the table. So yeah, he needs attention.
Yes.
And once he's fully vaccinated next month, I'll be taking him for walks a lot more regularly and getting him out in the world.
Yeah, nice. That's very cool. Yes, because I think making sure you can get out right is
Mm.
key.
Yeah, and the nice thing
Right.
about Revizto as well is that because we're fully remote, I'm able to be at home practically all of the time with him. So yeah, it does mean it's more accessible to be able to be there to spend time with him and to actually just take him for a walk around the block or
What's his name?
his name's Stanley.
Oh, cute. I like that.
I think I,
Um,
I think just touching on that, because we all do work remote, the entire company. Well, apart from the head office in Switzerland, but it's really important to be able to switch off from work and not
yes.
get into that habit of, oh, I work from home, so I
Just
can
work whenever.
yeah, I'm still working while I'm cooking my dinner and some things like that on
Yes.
an evening. So it's knowing when you can switch off and making sure that you do is
Mhm.
really, really important. We're all
I
terrible at it, but
definitely can remember that from COVID times. It got very
blurred.
weird as to when the end of the day was. When you
Yeah,
just
I
open
think
your laptop and something would pop up and you'd be working again all of a sudden.
yeah, setting those ground rules that right, I'm working from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Totally.
I guess one of the issues that we have is, with our regions anywhere from India to New Zealand. So there's a hell of a lot of time zones in there. So trying to
Yes.
juggle that as well.
Yeah, that must. Yeah. But then I guess it would be good. I guess you can travel as well for work and be in a different time zone and still work, which is quite a bonus, I would say.
Yes, we do. Again, it's setting the ground rules
Yeah.
of working hours and things. We do a lot of travel. So yeah, it's a big region. So yeah, we Michael and I have traveled a lot in the last 12
Mm.
months.
But the travel is really interesting, and I had a few trips to Singapore last year before we recently hired a customer success manager there. And there's so much that they're doing the same, but also incredibly different in places like Singapore. They've got everything that they're doing with the BCA and their data schemas, the IFC ESG format, and all of their core net X requirements. So they're still delivering buildings and infrastructure projects, but the way they have to go about it and the challenges that they are dealing with are very different to what we're dealing with in New Zealand and Australia. So yeah, it's really
Yeah.
interesting to see that and see how they have to approach some of those problems.
Yeah, wow. It's just quite a lot for you guys to be over, isn't it? Having such a wide. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
I was in Tokyo last week. We've got a new CS customer success person started in Japan. I was over there last week, and just going back to what Michael said, it's fascinating seeing the different
Mm.
countries were quite a lot different. Like Japan's actually not as advanced as you would think. I think the
Oh,
perception
wow.
of an external looking into Japan, we seem as this really tech savvy country, when in reality they're quite behind on the BIM adoption side of things.
Oh, wow. That's interesting to know. I wouldn't have thought that. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
No. All right. Last question. Tell us about a person who's been influential for you and what it was about them. It's going to be personal, professional.
I
Chris, what
guess.
do you?
Well, I picked one from my professional career when I started my journey in structural engineering. He was like my mentor. When I was back on the drawing board, he was an older guy, still with us. His name's Dave Smith. He actually came over to New Zealand a couple of years ago and did a tour around, so I came and stayed. But he was just influential. Just he was an awesome draftsman. So actually seeing how he created drawings, and I'm a firm believer of, everybody should start on a drawing board, to be able to understand how to lay out a drawing.
Yeah.
Because I think in this day and age, it's so easy and so quick to change things that people just kind of throw drawings together without taking a step back and looking at the overall drawing sheet. A good drawing, is well set out, and it's having that knowledge. So he taught me how to do that. Also taught me about buildability, which I think is a huge thing that we sometimes miss nowadays. So by that I mean, before you put pen to film, you had to think about how the building or the beam and the columns or whatever you were drawing was going together. So you were thinking all the time in 3D, and then conveying that onto a 2D sheet. So it I think he set me up in life to actually think about buildings a lot more. So yeah.
Nice. Good one. Michael, what about you? Someone influential.
Yeah, I think just really quickly touching on Chris's point as well, that comes back to what I said earlier about knowing the basics. It's so easy to 3D model now. You can do it, picks and clicks, or you can do AI or anything else, and it's so easy to make something that looks buildable. But to actually understand what you're trying to construct is a lot more difficult. How it's actually going to be detailed. That's a much bigger piece of knowledge that's required.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of someone influential, I would say that it's Jason Howden, who is actually Revisto's Chief Innovation Officer. So Jason was the person who hired me to start as a BIM coordinator at Warren & Marnie. Would have been 4 years ago now, I think. So he took a chance on me coming from an architectural graduate position at a company in Auckland, and really just trusted me to learn the tools and take the knowledge that I had from that work that I'd been doing and applying it to that BIM coordination role. So he's the one that introduced me to Revizto, to clash detection, to all of the BIM terminology that I'm now dealing with every day. And sort of over the past few years that I've known him, he's been really happy to share all of the knowledge that he has, to offer career advice and really push me out of my comfort zone with things that I wouldn't normally do. So one example of that would just be video content creation. So we produced a lot of content for our Revizto Academy over the last couple of years. So that's learning content, certifications, and essentials. But Jason pushed me to make the video content for one of those courses specifically, which, yeah, isn't something I would have done prior to that. And it's actually taught me how to make videos a bit better so that I can post things to LinkedIn, so that I can share things internally. And it's been quite useful. But he's always happy to lend an ear, and he's always given me good advice. So, yeah.
Love that. It's also been helpful to the Institute many a time, so can vouch for that.
He was also key at getting Michael into Revizto. When I remember when I was looking for a CSM in New Zealand, I asked Jason, said, "Have you got any recommendations?" And he said, "100% Michael." And I was like, "Who is this Michael?" And it said, "He's turning up to the field day tomorrow." So,
oh, how good! So
yeah.
all
And then I
links
think
in.
was it a month later I had a job?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well
it's a quick
done.
process. Yeah.
Yeah. So we saw the talent, and we jumped at the chance. So, and Michael's brilliant. I mean, you've only got to talk to his clients. It's fantastic to have him on the team. His
Well,
knowledge.
I've only been here for 15 minutes and it's been great.
Yeah.
Appreciate the feedback.
Good. All right. Well, we will see everybody next time on Light Lunch. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Chloe.
Thanks, Chloe.